All right, I think we're up. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the third day of April 2019. Well, apologies for the very late hour that this thing posted yesterday. We did not have internet until I think it started to come back sometime in the 10 o'clock hour, and we had all green lights except for one yellow, and I was starting to get it, and I didn't think that I would be able to upload because I wasn't really sure what that one light that was still yellow had to do with. And so but then I got brave and I went ahead and I did it. And so I think I got it uploaded just a little before 11 last night. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but it was an area-wide outage because when I called, they actually had a recording, you know. It's like, well, if you still want to talk to somebody. But it literally took that long, and so I don't know what happened. I mean, I have no idea. Haven't heard. So anyhow, hopefully we'll get through this today, and I have all green lights over there, so it's spooky when you have to use your phone to do everything. I just didn't think that using my phone as a hotspot trying to upload a 30-minute video was probably useful. So I tried doing it one time before when we had an interruption and I was trying to use it, and it didn't work very well. So I don't know. We'll see if it stays lit today. I don't know. But they hung in there, I guess. It took them all day and into the evenings. In fact, I don't even know when the outage actually started. All I know is I noticed it when I was doing this yesterday and went, oh my God. So anyhow, being a 3-day, we're looking at energy that is catalytic in nature. So get out there and do something, get something done today. If you haven't taken care of all your bills, go and check that out. And I always do that. I always do that. Like a couple days after the first, I'll go, oh my God, what didn't I pay? What did I forget? I'm trying to transition into just paying things when they come in instead of waiting till the first, and gathering them up and doing it then. I've always done that, because that's when we'd always get paid, was the first, and we still do. So it just seems to me that that's when you pay your bills, but I don't have to do it that way. So I'm trying to get myself into a position where I'm changing how I do things. And that way I don't have to think about it. I don't have to potentially misplace something. I just do it right then. Then I need a check sheet though. It's like, okay, then I'll second guess myself. Okay, did I do it? Or, so I'm my own worst enemy. I really am. Well, if you haven't been here before, welcome. And if you've come back, thank you. I appreciate it. Click subscribe. I'd love you to do that. I do these this video series. I write a blog called Stepping Aside, and I also write some books and all of that. They're metaphysical in nature, witchcraft, things like that. And so I thought, well, I could do this video series and do a rune and tarot divination, and I thought, well, how many days a week? I'll do it 4 days a week. I just, I was planning it all out, and I just basically do it just to sort of support what I do over there, and also because I just love tarot and I love runes, and I always have, and I just like thinking about, what they mean. I like learning new things about them. I tend to devour other people's books that they write about it to find out what they see, what do they think about this card, how do they see it, in case I'm missing something, because, we're all different. And so we're going to look at this stuff differently and see it from our own perspective. And so you'll find me gravitating toward rune books and tarot books and things like that when I'm looking for something else to read. That and astrology and things like that. I love that stuff. Anything esoteric, I'm there. So I'm just one of those ooey ooey people. Anyhow, well, let's go ahead and get started here while we still have internet. It still seems to be showing, but then it did yesterday. And I have to look actually over at my modem to really know for sure. So anyhow, at least I'm not doing this live. That would be the real issue. So, but let's count 13 and see what we have for today. If it's your first time, again, I take the 13th card each time I choose a card. It's just my method. You can do whatever you want to. I could lay out 3 cards, but I want them to be random. Today we're talking here, the first card though is 6 of Pentacles. The Pentacles is an earth element, so it's about the physicality of life. It's about our finances, our wealth, our legacy, our home, family. And here you see a person of means who's basically sharing what he has. You see he's holding a scale over there on one hand, and he's giving alms to the poor, basically. But to people less fortunate, 6 is about really about bringing higher self energies into play, and it reminds us that we aren't the only person in our world, that there are others out there, and that everybody's at different levels in the world, and sometimes people just need, a leg up. They need a little bit of support, whether it's financial or whether it's emotional or what have you, or just need someone to bounce ideas off of. In this case, you have someone here of means, and he's sharing the wealth that he has with other people, and just basically an expression of shared abundance, living in service to others, being mindful that he's not the only person in the world. It doesn't have to be anything really, really massive. It could just simply be some random act of kindness that you do for somebody. But the 6 of Pentacles just introduces the notion of shared abundance and how that can benefit others, and it also benefits us. But let's draw another card. Well, here we have the World, and that is the 21st card of the major arcana. And so you're looking at a 3 energy, manifestation. Here we come for full circle, though. You see the lemniscate both on the top and the bottom of the circular wreath. You see the 4 elements depicted in each corner. Basically, this shows us the circular nature of life, the cycles of life. As it is similar to the Wheel of Fortune, but the world, instead of just the cyclical nature of, say, monthly cycles or just initial cycles, this is how we come full circle in our life at the end of things. Sometimes known as the universe in other decks, in other non-traditional decks, this is basically the synthesis of the creative force in play. It indicates the triple goddess manifested. It indicates completion, reward, success. And in a sense, it's the gateway of spirit. It completes the fool's journey, the world does. So if there's a sense of completion, yet being a 3 energy, there's also a sense of manifestation, thus the cyclical nature. The use of the lemniscate or the figure 8 also denotes that same sort of thing, that we're in the same sort of cycle all of the time. Yesterday we saw it in the, had you been able to see it, of course, until late, it was in the, or was it the day before? It might have been the 2 of Pentacles, yes, where you had, that's right. You saw it in the 2 of Pentacles where the juggler is juggling the well, the pentacles back and forth. You're juggling it. It's got the lemniscate. Um, and so it kind of looks like gear fashion. But it's at the it's against a backdrop of the ocean doing this, and you see the up and down and the sine waves. I was talking about the sine waves and all of that. Had you been awake for it? Anyhow, it was good. It really was. But the lemniscate or the figure eight pattern is just showing us the endless cycle of life. You know, the give and take of everything, achieving balance. Um, if you look at, I really think the whole steampunk thing is just awesome. All the little gears and everything. Well, I love to watch things move like that. I love to watch equipment as it's operating, you know, to see something internal like that in as it operates, to me is just fascinating. I like to see all that movement moving together and everything working in synchronicity. And of course, you know, when it doesn't, then you have to take it into the shop, right? Well, to watch that process is just, I just find it fascinating. And so anytime I see that process here, you know, where you're coming full circle on something that's interesting, you know, with respect to the Six of Pentacles, to come full circle in that respect, in terms of shared abundance, is to remember where you came from. We all started out with nothing as babies, you know, we might have been born into wealth, but we weren't wealthy. And we all start out with nothing as the fool to begin our journey. And this endless journey that we have, you know, in form, you know, this is the one we're currently in. Well, we're in other ones at the same time. So, you know, it's this endless give and take in terms of our awareness, the soul's awareness. But in a sense, with the Six of Pentacles, you kind of come full circle. You know, here's, you have too much, and now, you know, you could hoard it, I suppose, but you can also give it to others. And so, in a sense, you know, you're seeing the cyclical nature of life there as well. So I have too much, I'm going to give to others. You know, maybe it isn't money, maybe it's your time, maybe it's your expertise, maybe you volunteer, you know, but this feeling of give and take, you know, that life is all about. It's the same thing, you know, when you're in a sense, you have little starts and little completions, little beginnings and endings within that process, but it's a continual one. Let's do the last card. See, and 6 and 3 is 9, so it does give a sense of completion, doesn't it? Oh, well, here we have the 3 of Pentacles. So we're going to put this card at the beginning. Here we have a craftsman plying his trade. Some women have come by, possibly either admiring what he's doing, or maybe they want to hire him. So if we put that, well, that's kind of interesting. All right, so if we put the 3 of Pentacles first, then we have the 6, then we have the 21, which is also a 3, because 2 and 1 adds to 3. Okay, so you've got 3, 6, and 3, which ultimately reduces to 3, which is, you know, today's day. Anyhow, so we have a lot of synchronicity then today, and we'll pull a rune and see what that does. But let's talk about this here first. So we're plying our trade. We've put in the time. We've gotten our skills. We've gone to school. We've, you know, done an apprenticeship. Whatever we've done to prepare ourselves for the future. And now we're plying our trade. We're working our craft. We're making some money, and we've gotten some money, and now we feel a little out of balance with it. You know, he's holding the scales there, and he's just feeling like, you know, I have too much. I don't need this. I live a simple life. I don't need all of this. I could share this. Other people might benefit from either my wealth or my expertise or my advice or something about me I can offer to the world. And it's just this endless cycle, isn't it? We get up, we go to work, we come home, we pay the bills, we get up, we go to work, we come home, we spend time with our family, we do things around the house, we go to work, we come home. You see the cyclical nature of our lives. And while we're trying to make our way in the world, we have to just remember that if it's at all possible, while we're doing things for ourselves, to be sure to do something for someone else as well. And it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't, in this case with the Six of Pentacles, you know, here he's giving money, but he doesn't have to give money. When you're giving something of the earth element, it's not, it could simply be your time. It could be your expertise. Maybe a neighbor is trying to do something and he's having a hard time doing it. Maybe you've got something that might help him, either yourself, maybe as another set of hands to help, or maybe you've got a piece of equipment or something that you can take over and help him out with it or something to make his life easier. So there's a lot of ways to embrace and extend the Six of Pentacles in your life to other people. And here we have Tiwaz, the spiritual warrior within. It's the 17th rune of the Elder Futhark, so you're looking at an 8 energy, and that's even greater abundance, greater leadership, greater awareness of the unity consciousness that really is the essence of all of us. I think that we see the progression. We do well in our lives and we want to share that with other people. But again, it doesn't have to be money. Not everybody has extra money to hand out to people or to make, charitable donations or any of that. But maybe you have something else you can offer. Maybe it's your time, it's your presence. Maybe it's just your presence in someone else's life that makes them feel more abundance in theirs. Believe it or not, we don't always value what we have to offer in this world. And sometimes just being there is enough. It doesn't have to be anything tangible. But it takes all of that, doesn't it? It's that whole give and take of life. But then you see this, and when you bring Tiwaz into the mix, that's where we find our true strength, isn't it? Is being able to see the needs of other people and to try to, in some small fashion, help alleviate their concerns. Well, that's interesting. It's the whole notion of strength and giving, the strength of compassion. I love the rune Tiwaz. Not only, is it pointing, an arrow pointing upwards to spirit, hence the spiritual warrior within. You see Isa in the middle there, the straight line, Isa. That indicates the spirit, that indicates the inner work, basically, that we do. But this is about rising up into spirit, rising up into that type of authority where you feel comfortable extending yourself to other people, irrespective of what you get in return, because it isn't about that. It isn't about, I'm going to do something so I get something. It's doing something without expecting anything in return. Because that's the other message of the Six. They're not going to return the money. Okay. They're unless at some point they get to a station in their life and maybe he isn't and they're giving to him. So you see, it's reciprocity, but it's reciprocity without expectation. Maybe the only reciprocity is in the thank you, or the knowledge that you did something good for somebody. There's the true reciprocity. The true reciprocity isn't, even are they going to say thank you, but it's the knowledge that he did something good here. That's the true reciprocity. It's not about, okay, I'm going to do this and what am I going to get out of it? It's not all about that. It's not all about, well, I will only do this if I get that. You know, if you're a transactional individual, then I suppose you live that way. If you're not, however, and what you do is you just do it, you don't expect anything in return, I think you're probably in a better position, spiritually maybe, than someone who will only do something if they're going to get something out of it. A what's in it for me kind of thing. And it's not that there's not times when that should come into play, but I think when you're talking generosity of spirit and just easy exchange with others, and the world could be all about that as well. Maybe that's the fool's journey, to learn that we're just here to be together, and wherever we can, we should try to make life easier for other people, even if it's just through a kind word. So anyhow, well, that's cool. Well, I guess we made it through this, and hopefully I'll be able to upload it. But do check out the blog. I got the well, I haven't gotten the geomancy reading up yet for the month, but the tarot reading for the month is up. I'm going to finish the geomancy reading today. I was not able to do the lunar transits. I will do those today, because it transits again tonight. So that'll also go up. So the geomancy will get finished, and the lunar transits will be done. I promise. I promise. So anyhow, I'm all energized. We went on the 4-mile walk. It didn't rain, so yay. Anyhow, so I guess that's it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.